Buenos días, buenas tardes o buenas noches. Y ya llegamos al fin de semestre. So, hello, and we have arrived at the end of the semester. So, for these last couple of weeks, you'll be working on any missing assignments, anything you want to redo, as well as the final. So, our final due dates, these are not true for seniors who everything is due on the 12th. This is just for everyone else. The official due date for our final week, I'll go over in a moment, but the ultimate, no extensions given, last days for things are Tuesday, May 23rd by midnight. All missing work must be submitted except for the final, which you have until the next day, Wednesday, May 24th by midnight. That's when everything must be submitted. So to look at though the official due dates, so that if you're on time and not using any of the extensions that are provided already into the course, here's what I'm going to be wanting you to do. First, look at, is there anything that's missing or that you'd still like to get done? You have a couple of days there. There is a district-wide short post-assessment that I'll need for you to do. I'd like for you to aim to have that done by that Wednesday. Then you work on your final project, which we're going to go over together in just a minute. Have it done and submitted by the Friday, as well as a brief survey on how the course went and any feedback that you can give me so that I can keep improving. Then we have the last week, and this is all extra. Nothing is officially due this week, but if anything is missing, you have 2 extra days for any of the missing work, and then one more day for the final itself. Thursday is official end of the year school day for you guys, so you still would want to log in that day. Look for communications from me in case I can't access something. Then that would be the only time I'll be saying, hey, quickly get me or give me access to things. And then Friday the 26th is summer break. So that's our schedule. Now, what does this mean by the final? Quickly go through that. Actually, I'm going to go through it this way. Well, no, go through this way. So here's the final exam, what you should be able to do, giving you a guideline, and once again, review on that. So the final project is a portfolio. You are going to demonstrate and bring in examples of when you have done well. So most of this, or half of this project, will end up being either things that you've already submitted, or you can choose to do them, create them new. I have provided an example of mine. It is meant a kind of across the spectrum, so some of it will be appropriate for level 1, some for level 2, some for level 3. So if you're in level 1 or level 2, there may be some things on there that you don't understand, and that's okay. That's because it's meant for the higher levels. I do only have the one, just to give you an idea more of what it's going to look like and layout. Now, the details of what needs to be included. So, your digital portfolio needs to have the first slide is your cover slide, and in there you need to include information about that answers these first few questions. And this is true for everybody has these first few questions. Then you're going to have 4 more slides, and on those you are going to demonstrate for me your ability to write in Spanish and present that way. This is something you can pull from an assignment from this semester. A verbal presentation, one of the audio or verbal assignments, or something from an exam can be done here. An interpersonal communication would be like a discussion that was in there. If you had a discussion outside of the class that you'd rather use, you can type it up like a script. Here's what I said, here's what the other person said. It must be in Spanish. These 3 things must completely be in Spanish, no English. So the first slide, no English. The next 3 slides, no English. You can choose to write something new for the written presentation. You can choose to say something new for the verbal presentation. Or like I said, these 3 slides here in the second section can be just a demonstration, a copy, a screenshot, a link. Okay. Then the fourth one is additional section or additional information, in which you are telling me more about yourself in Spanish. No English whatsoever on this page either. And here are some guiding questions that you can use. This one's a little more, you can decide what you want to tell me about. Stick to, though, content that you're familiar with. Do not write this with an online translator. You can look up a word or two, but do not look up grammar, okay? Then the last slide, this is the only place where there can be some English. And this is where you're going back to that goal that you set for yourself using the rubric at the beginning of the semester and reviewed again about mid-semester. And now you're saying, hey, here's how I grew. Here's what I saw. Here's what I did. You can look previously at this example that demonstrates how I grew. That's the only place that English can be on this portfolio. Then make sure that you've corrected for editing and punctuation. Read the Spanish out loud. And here's the thing, if you use something that you'd previously done and you hear a mistake in it, you can always tweak it and make it better. All right? Make sure that there's some images in there. Have it be visually appealing as well. So now some resources that you can use to create and house this, present this information. I used the Wix. You can use Pathbrite, Google Blogger are good ones, and VoiceThread all work really, really well. There are tutorials on how to use all of those down below. For the Vocaroo and how to embed that into a Pathbrite, click on View in order to see this. Now, a couple other examples. There's one here in English, but there's also two here that would be better that are in Spanish and what this would look like. All right. Then be sure you have shared any project in any tool that you've used with me at my Jeffco Schools email address. There will be on the next page a place for you to submit this. And that's where you would submit your link. And of course it looks different for you there. All right, and then after that we have the survey on the course. And then I also give you some ideas of things that you can do to keep your Spanish going over the summer. Super easy, 5 minutes, can be on your smartphone, is the Duolingo. That's an excellent one. The others take a little more time, a little more focus, but can also be, hey, you're watching a movie, just kind of flip around and have the subtitles in Spanish or have the audio change to Spanish, especially in scenes that you're super familiar with. I don't recommend having them both. I have not found that they actually align to each other, which is I don't get, but that's the way it is. So here is the explanation about your final weeks of Spanish. It's been a wonderful year. Please know that I'm still here and I want you to contact me with any questions, concerns that you may have so that I can help you. Hasta luego.